Welcome to the 24th episode of A Change at the Chance. My name is Ryan Lowe, and it's my job to educate listeners, especially young ones, on the issues in this world by interviewing different experts who can lead us into the charge for change. I just want to take a moment to share that this is very close to the third anniversary of A Change at the Chance, and I want to thank everyone for your support. So, out of the many issues that surround our world, from racism to the plastic problem, there are a few that we have yet to talk about on Change at the Chance. Now, some issues are not visible, they are hidden, sometimes taboo. But at this very moment, millions of people around the world are in dire need of someone to talk to or something to help them. The mental health crisis is a critical one, impacting all, leading to so much pain and suffering. Yet it is one that's too often invisible, and sometimes those in need feel too shameful to bring it up. Thankfully, in recent years, many organizations and spokespeople have worked on destigmatizing mental health, allowing all of those people in need to openly talk about it and reach out for help. Now, one of those organizations that has made a significant impact in promoting mental health is Born This Way Foundation. So now some of their projects like Channel Kindness or Teen Mental Health First Aid have connected teens across the globe to ensure they are heard. Founded by Lady Gaga, Born This Way Foundation has been at the front of combating the mental health crisis through education, field support, and more. So today we'll be talking to Shadille, the Communications and Creative Manager of Born This Way Foundation. So, hello Shadille, how are you doing today?
Hi, Ryan. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations on your celebration of 3 years. I think that the work that you do is very, very needed in this world, and I'm so honored to be speaking with you today.
The honor is mine, Shadille. So let's start with how did Born This Way Foundation start and what inspired you to start working there?
Sure thing. Born This Way Foundation was founded in 2012 by Lady Gaga and her mother, Cynthia Germanato. We're actually celebrating 10 years this year.
Wow.
And mission and our mission is to support youth mental health and work with young people to build a kinder and braver world. I started as a 19-year-old advisory board member in 2012, and I felt like I was inspired by Lady Gaga's dedication to this cause, to mental health, and I wanted to find a way to make a real impact in my community too. The foundation is driven by our mission of creating a and supportive environment for young people, and we've promoted self-expression and advocacy through activism, education, technology through our programs, our online programs, and mental health awareness through the conversations that we curate. And these core values of kindness, love, acceptance, and bravery made me feel safe, and is what I fell in love with when it comes to this work. And so now, in my 6th year at Born This Way Foundation, I get to work alongside young people and advocates like you and like Therese to create a world and to really create an experience, the same experience that I had the privilege of 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 experiencing for young people all around the world.
Well, I think it's amazing what the organization does, and I congratulate you on your decade anniversary. So, mental health is a topic that I have not discussed on my podcast, and I really feel like we need to. So, I'm 14, and just thinking back in the last 3 years, I have friends who have gone through these difficult times due to academic pressures, social bullying, or finding identities. Even for me, I've just found times where I really feel like I have to combust. But while mental health is important for all ages, why do you think it's especially critical for teens and preteens?
That's an excellent question, and thank you for your bravery in sharing that you also experience challenges in this space. And mental health is so important for all of us, and as you noted, for teenagers, for preteens, for younger generations overall, because it's a time when they're developing their identities, exploring different relationships, and we're really figuring out what our place in the world is when we're this age. And during these formative years, it's incredibly important for caring adults, for all of us, to provide young people with support systems that can help them cope with any challenges or difficulties that they have. We know younger generations prioritize their mental health and are much more likely to seek support from each other when faced with emotional challenges. And that's why we invest so much in programs that meet young people where they are and work with emphasis on working with young people to create these programs and these resources.
Well, on a very personal note, that sounds really amazing. So thank you for that, just all of it. So, what are some of the most alarming trends on the mental health spectrum that you hope more people would care about?
One of the most alarming trends that we've seen is, of course, the rise of mental health challenges and issues among young people. We know that in the US alone, 1 in 5 teens report having seriously considered suicide. And there's also been an increase in anxiety and depression, especially due to the current pandemic. And of course, as you mentioned at the top, you mentioned the ongoing overlapping crises. We're not just navigating a pandemic, we're navigating racial crises and economic issues as well. And so at Born This Way Foundation, we understand that in order to create lasting change, a cultural change, and ensure that young people's mental health is supported, we need to start with understanding the root causes of these issues. We focus heavily on identifying and addressing these challenges like racism and poverty and inequality, to better understand the challenges that young people are facing and help meet the needs. We believe it's important to bring attention not only to the individual symptoms of mental health challenges, but also to the culture that we can create. And we really focus on the aspirational ways that we can work with young people to do so. And so we strive to create a world where young people feel heard, seen, and held up so that they can live their best lives. And that's why we also support nonprofit organizations and communities like yours to meet the needs of young people in as many places as possible.
Well, it's really great to hear that. I think that a lot of people need to know that and just know that they have support as well. So, do you feel that most schools are doing a good job promoting mental wellness or providing students with the support they need? What could schools do better?
I'd love to hear your perspective, and I'll share a bit on Born This Way Foundations. And we know that educators and teachers and caring adults are trying their best to meet the needs of the students, but of course, more can be done. Schools need to prioritize mental wellness in order to create an inclusive and supportive environment for young people, and this means providing resources to help students cope with stress and anxiety, as well as educating students on how to better support themselves and each other. We at Born This Way Foundation envision a world where every young person is comfortable talking about their mental health, and those who need support get the help they deserve. The conversation around mental health is continuing to grow, especially among your generation. And young people are finding the courage. It really is an act of bravery to share their struggles and to ask for support. But often, friends and families don't know how to respond. And so Jack.org and Born This Way Foundation are working to change that. Jack.org are our partners in creating the Be There certificate, which is a free digital self-weight. It sounds like you've heard of it.
Yeah, well, I have.
Well, it's exciting to hear your excitement around that the name of this program. The Be There certificate is a free digital self-paced learning experience. It really is an experience because there's so many components to it, but it's essentially designed to increase mental health literacy and provide young people with the knowledge, skills, and confidence that they need, that we all need, to safely support anyone who may be struggling with their mental health. It's one thing to really know theoretically how we can be there for someone, but it's a whole other thing to practice it and to really lean into these conversations in our everyday lives so that we can really put this kindness and these resources into action. And so the Be There certificate is available in English, French, and it makes me so proud as a Latina to say it's also available in Spanish. We offer we offer this program to schools, to communities, to libraries, to students in classrooms, to families in their homes. Anyone can take it, and we're very excited to really share more about how this tool, this resource, has impacted the lives of so many. So anyone who is tuning in and would like to learn more can learn more about Be There Certificate at betherecertificate.org.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I know that is definitely something that I would like to do and probably introduce to my school as well. So, what are the greatest?
I'd love to hear. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. So, what are the greatest obstacles that you and Born This Way Foundation face when fighting against the mental health crisis, and how do you deal with those problems?
This is an excellent question. We understand that there are many barriers that hinder young people from finding the support that they need. And these barriers include lack of access to mental health resources, stigma, lack of education around mental health topics. And we work to reduce these barriers through our programs. And we focus specifically on programs that focus on mental health, on increasing access to support and information about mental health, as well as advocating for greater understanding and acceptance of mental health issues. And we believe in creating a culture of kindness. And so when we think about these obstacles, Ryan, we really focus on very much understanding what these obstacles are, how they're affecting young people from the perspective of the young people that we survey through our research or the conversations that we have. And then we very much focus on what are the ways in which we can better support young people to move forward. Yes, these barriers are affecting youth mental health, and we want to be able to meet those needs and sort of empower and support young people to seek the support that they need. And that's why we focus on providing the tools and the information needed to care for ourselves, for young people to care for themselves outside of school and create meaningful connections with supportive peers and caring adults and resources in their communities.
Yeah, well, I can't say this enough. What you're doing is so important, and it's really great for me to hear about it, just as a high schooler, especially going into finals next week.
Oh, well, best of luck during finals. I know that can be heavy. And the fact that you're producing a podcast and working on finals, as well as it seems I can see decorating Christmas trees and really connecting with your peers. It's a beautiful thing that that you're able to lean into a topic about mental health and wellness, especially in a time where it can feel like a lot of things are happening at once.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. So, one of the most prolific and successful programs that Born This Way Foundation has launched is Channel Kindness. Can you tell us more about this program, its global impacts, and even some of its memorable highlights?
Ooh, these are one of my favorite questions. We we invite young people to imagine a world where we are connected to these resources that we need to build a kinder and braver world that we deserve, that young people deserve know it's possible. And so this is at the heart of our mission. And through the power of storytelling, we inspire our audience to share kindness and affirmation through the stories of kindness, resilience, bravery, community. We really lean into what it means to take action through the digital platform in support of causes that young people care about. Channel Kindness's audience is inspired to build a kinder and braver world, one story at a time. And each story on Channel Kindness is paired with actionable steps forward. And so you're reading about how a young woman in a specific community created a kindness initiative, and then you're learning how you can do that too. And so, in fact, each story really leans into this, and there are additional verticals on the website that have prompts for educators and individual visitors from around the world to learn about and share ways to become inspiring storytellers themselves.
I should really check that out. That sounds incredible.
We would be very excited about that. So much that I'm like yelling, yes, 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 Brian, please check out Channel Kindness at channelkindness.org. Share your voice, share your story. If you need an additional place to share your podcast, that is another space. It really is. There's no particular format, and we're really not prescriptive about the acts of kindness. We are just as jazzed to listen to a podcast to amplify the voices of young people in the ways that they like to and prefer to lean into that storytelling. So if it's a video, if it's a written piece, really, I think the forms of communication are expanding in so many ways as we speak, and we're always open to the stories from young people.
Okay, well, I'll do that shortly. So sometimes I feel like the youth, we just want to be heard. We just want to know that we belong somewhere. And Born This Way Foundation has done a lot to help kids feel seen and heard. So what are some of those ways that kids can reach out to find someone they can connect with?
That's an excellent point on young people just wanting to feel heard. I really want to just hold some space for that, for anyone who's listening, whether you're a young person or a caring adult, listening, really, really learning. And of course, don't want to focus on just the aspect of listening as it relates to our senses, thinking really about how we could read more about what young people are doing in their communities, how they're feeling, how we can really interact with research, interact with programs, and specifically find ways to learn and understand from a point of a non-judgmental perspective. We believe at Born This Way Foundation that connection is at the heart of mental health and well-being, and we strongly encourage young people to reach out and to make new connections, whether it be with friends or family, in their local communities, or online in safe spaces, such as our own Channel Kindness, and to connect with us through our various platforms. I definitely want to plug our digital team and their amazing job at creating safe communities online and spaces where young people can express themselves and find support. I encourage anyone tuning in to open your TikTok, open your Instagram, or any other social platform and type at BTW Foundation to follow us and stay connected to our wonderfully kind community.
Yeah, well, I just feel like a lot of the times it's really hard for someone to ask for help. Just go out there and ask for help. And I'm so glad that Born This Way Foundation is really trying to encourage that and allow people to get help.
It is an act of bravery to share that you need support, and it's a lot of what we focus on with our programs is really breaking down that stigma so that we can feel that we are in spaces that will encourage us to share how we're feeling in any at any stage.
So, while my podcast was started for youth, some of my listeners are adults, even parents. So, what are ways that parents can help ensure their teen mental wellness? And what are signs that they should look for?
That's an excellent question, and I'm so excited for you that you have such a variety of listeners. For parents and young adults that are listening, please know that you play a vital role in ensuring that teen mental health, that teen wellness uh, is uh, is really emphasized in the home, and in the spaces that you create with the young people in your lives, and that by talking openly and honestly with the young people in your life, with the teens in your lives about mental health, creating a safe space to talk about difficult topics, modeling healthy coping skills, and seeking assistance when needed. These are things that the young people in our lives are really looking at. We are the examples, and I'm not a parent myself, but I have a 17-year-old sister. Well, I always say she's 17. Please excuse me. She's a baby in my eyes, always and forever. She's 19, but I have a younger sister, and that's why I say caring adults. I'm someone who is an adult who cares very much about her well-being, the well-being of her friends, and whether you are a parent, a guardian, an older sister, a cousin, a teacher, and so on. Of course, this list goes on. You really have the opportunity to model what it is to talk about difficult topics, to showcase what healthy coping skills look like. Parents should also be aware of any signs that may point to their child being at risk for mental health challenges and issues, such as changes in mood, behavior, or patterns of socialization. It's important that parents reach out to their teens and acknowledge that they may be struggling, connect them with resources such as counseling or support groups if needed, and be supportive and non-judgmental in their conversations about mental health. I really do want to emphasize and invite any caring adult who is interested in taking the first steps to learning how to better support the young people in their lives to take time out of their day to take the Be There certificate. If you can think back to a moment when you had a conversation about mental health, directly or indirectly, I can almost guarantee that you might have wished you knew what to say or had the confidence in sharing information you felt would be appropriate. And so I think we're talking to people we love, when we're talking to people we love, and when we want to make sure that what we're saying is the right thing, and taking the proper steps. And while every situation is unique, taking a course that walks you through that very scenario in a low stakes environment can help equip you for when they happen in our actual lives.
Yeah, and I feel that parental influence and just a parent's effect on a child is such a big part of their upbringing that it's really important that, as you said, they also have that influence on their mental health and well-being.
Yeah.
So, last question. What are some of the big priorities for Born This Way Foundation in the new year?
That is the big question. We're beyond excited for the new year and all that it will bring. One of our top priorities is to continue to foster a safe and inclusive, kind community in each of the spaces where we have the opportunity to connect with young people, that's physically in their communities, in their schools, and online. We are so excited for the new year and all that it brings. One of our top priorities is to continue to foster safe, inclusive, and kind communities everywhere. That is online, in schools, in our communities, and of course through that continue to focus on our goals of making kindness cool, validating the emotions of young people, and eliminating the stigma that surrounds mental health. We're looking to double our impact in the communities we serve, and most importantly, continue to listen to young people and follow your lead.
Well, I know that you and Born This Way Foundation will do a great job with everything you said.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Shadille, for shedding light on this very important topic, and thank you for your work in destigmatizing mental health needs and helping teens find the support that they need. And to those listening, if you or a friend is struggling with mental health, please remember that you matter, you are not alone, and that you are a sparkle to somebody out there.
And if you're looking for resources to support your mental health, be it immediate resources or any of the programs that we mentioned during our conversation, please visit bornthisway.foundation/get help now.
So that's it for A Change of the Chance, episode 24. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye, everyone.